Today's apologist claim: our country must be protected from foreigners. Generally speaking, conservatives are less enthusiastic about foreigners moving into this country than are liberals or progressives. Conservatives are more likely to want greater border security, increased deportation, and no pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants. They are also more likely to want fewer refugees, asylum seekers, and even legal immigrants to be allowed into this country. Considering that the vast majority of U.S. conservatives are Christians, 85%, and that the most conservative among them tend to be evangelical Christians, I find it curious that those who try to live by the Bible are among those most adamant about keeping foreigners out of the country. After all, if Jesus existed, he would have been a brown-skinned refugee. Furthermore, the Bible is very clear about how people from other countries are to be treated. 1 Kings 8:43-44, "Do whatever the foreigner asks of you." Exodus 23:9, "Do not oppress a foreigner." Deuteronomy 10:18-19, "He loves the foreigner residing among you, and you are to love those who are foreigners." Leviticus 19:33-34, "The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born." Leviticus 19:9-10, "Do not go over your vineyard a second time or pick up the grapes that have fallen. Leave them for the poor and the foreigner." Matthew 25:41-46, "I was a stranger, and you did not invite me in, naked, and you did not clothe me, sick and in prison, and you did not visit me. Truly, I say to you, to the extent that you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me. These will go away into eternal punishment." Galatians 5:14, "Love your neighbor as yourself." That last one may not actually apply, since it's possible that the term neighbor only referred to fellow Israelites, but the other passages make it clear that foreigners, which includes immigrants, refugees, asylum seekers, and so on, are to be welcomed and treated with hospitality. It seems that the conservative impulses of conservative Christians are sometimes more important than the Christian part. So perhaps they're just ignoring those inconvenient passages the way they ignore all those inconvenient atrocities committed by God in the Bible. Or perhaps they're just unaware of these biblical commands. It is rather amazing how few Christians have actually read the Bible cover to cover. But the Bible clearly does order God's followers to love foreigners, treat them as native-born equals, and do whatever they want. Someone once said that conservatism can be described as the intense fear that somewhere, somehow, someone you think is inferior is being treated as your equal. If that's the motivation for many conservative Christians supporting wall building, deportations, denying asylum, putting kids in cages, etc., then it's contrary to what the Bible says about how to treat foreigners. It's also un-American. As founding father John Adams once stated, "We are to look upon it as more beneficial that many guilty persons should escape unpunished than one innocent person should suffer." Not that I'm advocating for open borders, but perhaps more conservative Christians should.